Good afternoon, students. Today, the title of conference is about Colombian legislation, new custom study. The speaker's names, Julian Carlos. Give me a second, please. I need to do something here. Okay, thank you. Okay, what is the objective for today? Is to make known the keys of the new custom study in order to enter a greater context compared to what currently governs foreign trade in Colombia. For, the, for this, we will base on the five keys that you can apply in order to make a better import or export process. The order for today is basic concept, which is the custom study, on which it's based the custom study, which seeks the new custom study, the five keys of the new custom study, infragram, harmonization and international standards, a stronger, a stronger DM, management of the risks, logistic the key, technical modernization. Conclusion and short biography. Okay, it is the custom state. The standard that harmonizes the progress of operation with international standards and allow employers to reduce time and cost. The new study contains more than 670 articles which seek to streamline and improve the process of export and import of products and supplies. Benefits. The first one, the risk management system. Through this new system, foreign trade operation will be facilitated without affecting the control that is carried out on them. Operations and risky operators will be identified, focusing on control, but will facilitate custom clearance to those who do not represent any risks. This allows to identify reliable foreign trade users to offer them benefits in the fulfillment of their custom obligations. All these measures will be represented in lower costs, thus helping to improve the competitiveness of company. The second is improvement of foreign trade logistics. The customs exchange issue facilitates the movement of cargo entering of leaving the country, creating custom transit by combining transport using various modes such as fluvial, rail, land, air, and sea. These are these are key elements for the development of transportation logistics in Colombia in projects such as the Buenaventura, La Tebaida, rail, rail corridor, and the recovery of the navigability of the Magdalena River. The possibility of advantage declaration is also contemplated without waiting for the merchandise to be of the site, which simplifies and expedites the produce to authorized sales operations. The use of electronic safety devices will be prevent the meaning of the transport of cargo, unit from being opening of the route and will allow the DN to improve the traceability and control of the goods during transport. Likewise, the International Logistic Distribution Center in the country ports are strengthening, which will allow expanding operation can be carried out with them. Additionally, ports will be the conquest the excuse me the conquested through the figure of common control zones to several ports. will be the custom authorities. Facilitate and reduce the cost of custom formalizations. Normative instruments are created such as mandatory electronic payment, abbreviated custom clearance, use of non-intrusive inspections, equipment and adjustment in the ongoing procedure. All this will allow the custom clearance imports to be made on average within 48 hours of the arrival of the merchandise. Regarding the re-embarkation, only an electronic record will be required, given that to date it doesn't correspond to an export regime, and the guarantee requirement is eliminated when the merchandise is in the deposit of the plane of arrival. The options for the guarantees that cover the custom obligation are expanded. This is achieved by reducing the cost of its incorporation and considering reductions in the insured amounts at the time of the renewal of the same for the operation of trade. And the last one is inspection. This is a fundamental aspect of the new custom state, since this process is modernized by encouraging voluntary compliance with obligations through persuasive management, counteracting fraud, illegal trade, and violation of property rights. Intellectual. This guarantees the satisfaction of the obligation in chains of the different actors of international trade. For example, the sales involved in Colombia will be a document that covers of the foreign merchandise acquired by the final consumer. Likewise, formal errors in custom declarations will not be excuse me, sanctioned, and ground for exception for the liability are established, which previously didn't exist. The apprehension for falsification of the merchandise will correspond only to cases of different merchandise are not to formal errors. The sanctions of 200% when it's not possible to apprehend the merchandise applies only as for a previous producer in which the release is cancelled. In addition, will be reduction in the events in which the merchandise has been consumed or destroyed. All these tools will, will lead the country to strengthen the economic and maintain a good level of competitiveness on which the custom state is based. Compile, because finally order will be given to the patchwork quilt in which custom regulation had become in recent years, following the signing of free trade agreements with dozens of countries. Remember that the activity we may regard the free trade agreement and it gives a lot of advantage. Also, facilitate some expeditious procedures are incorporated and in accordance with the new realities of foreign trade. Finally, the objective of controlling aims to strengthen the institutional framework and provide new tools to both the DIAN and the Ministry of Commerce to prevent violations and prevent the use of foreign trade in illicit activities such as smuggling, drug trafficking, and money laundering. Search of the custom statute. It seeks to give order to the system of foreign trade in the country, modernizing some rules that had become obsolete of incorporating many that were used outside the document. It referred to give more benefits to the people that it's making sport. The keys to the custom statute. Okay, harmonizations. The new statute incorporates the principles of the World Customs Organization, the recommendations of the Andean Community, and those of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, as strong as the end. The statute is synchronized with the law of smuggling to give more teeth to the DN and criminal justice, which can now punish more severely who offenders. Risk management. Risk management is the new backbone of the customs statute, and in this sense, one of the main values that govern the relation between the state and the individuals in the foreign trade has to do with the confidence. The key logistic process. It contemplates that the foreign trade system will work with the state of the art with the art technology, such as the one installing imports and imports, which include scanners for non-intrusive revisions to shorten the terms of nationalization of goods, and in this way, relative to proposal to coordinate simultaneous inspections with authorities of ICA, INVIMA, and DIAN. The objective is to reduce time and costs for the data technology. Technological modernizations. Administering the new producer will require a very robust platform where they can be incorporated. In other words, it, it will be necessary to mount a MUISCA for all foreign trade operations. All the products must be in MUISCA to import or export, and this gives you an advantage to compile everything in just one in just one platform. Now, so in this page, you can link it in this video that is in YouTube, and the video show how does the custom work. So I invite you to watch that video. In conclusion, fit of all, we can conclude that the new custom statute seeks to facilitate the import and export produce processes between Colombia and other countries, to the simple fact of only checking with the commercial invoice where the merchandise comes from. The second, the technological infrastructure will make things much easier and will greatly streamline the processes of nationalization from 3 days to 1 day only according to expectations. And the last one is necessary to have knowledge of the five keys indicated on this video course, since these are the sources of our foreign trade processes. Now, you can check uh, this bibliography, web page portfolio, and you can learn more about custom study. Okay, that is all for today, and see you later.